Hi everyone, this is Aruna, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, SNS College of Technology. In my lecture series, in this video, I'm going to discuss about the case study about the hospital management system. So before seeing the problem definition, first we're going to see about the what do you mean by hospital management system. Nowadays, all the hospital has improved immensely in recent days, and also not only in terms of the thing, in terms of improving the quality, and also because one person's life is very important, and also it is depend only on the technologies in the healthcare, and also it can reduce the burden of the staff in the hospital, and also it will improve the health of the patient very easily and also effectively. So in while we moving for the healthcare sector, there is three important keys are there. One is technology enablement, then second thing is how we can diagnosis can be done by the doctor. Third one is automation, because wherever we are going nowadays, the automation industry has moving over, it can be incorporated in the hospital also. So nowadays, in our thing is we are switching from traditional hospitals to the smart hospital. So and also in your smart hospital can have the potential for exponential growth. So in these cases, nowadays scenarios, the so major thing is only depends upon the data. So how we can in the how majorly depend only on the data, how the data can be stored, because a hospital can contain the many number of patients and many number of records they are having. So in a hospital they can't able to maintain that particular thing in the hard copy, so they made into a soft copy, and also the doctors can easily retrieve the thing. That can also we can see while using the hospital management software and all. So in this case, I'm going to how we can design and develop a better database for the hospital management system. That we're going to see it in our continue of my video. So what to be the problem statement for the hospital management system is the, so how we can develop the a better database, or how we can develop the better software for the hospital management system, that we're going to see it over here. So major aim for this particular nowadays, what type of a problem is facing under the healthcare management system is a better database is needed, because the database plays a major role. So through that only we can able to easily retrieve our data. So because a patient can enter into the hospital at a many times, so and also we can't able to maintain all the record of the hard written handwritten copies. So only we are made that particular entries in the soft written pattern, while seeing itself which in a fraction of second we can able to analyze that particular patient can come from where he or she can come from, and also how many times he or she visited the hospital, which doctor he or she made, that we going to see it is easily. So for that only we are developing the better database. So the major aim of this one is we going to design and develop a database for the hospital management system. So why we are creating or why we are designing the database means for maintaining the particular record only, because a hospital can contain the numerous number of records. So for maintaining that only we are designing a better database. So what type of a data we can store in that particular database means, it can contain the various department details, and also it can contain the rooms, doctors in the hospital, patient may be a inpatient or a outpatient, all the detail we going to see it in the database. So what type of a structure, how it will be the structure, that we going to discuss it over here. So this is a major problem in the nowadays hospital. So finally I'm going to give the solution for this particular problem, and also I can design the better database for solving this particular solution. And also it is not only for storing this particular data in the database, and also we have to maintain that particular database. In what cases we can maintain this thing means, first one is the record of the regular patient. So if the particular person is regularly, monthly once they may come, or 12 weeks once they can come, anytime they can come. If they have any problem, suddenly they can come to the hospital. So that record we have to maintain. Regularly we can maintain the thing. And also if the patient is admitted in the hospital, so regularly the particular patient, what is their problems, and also what cases he or she can admitted in the hospital, that thing that we're going to store it in our database. And also what type of a checkup can be done by that particular patient, that record also we're going to store it over here. And also the patient that have been operated, and this particular database can also be operated by the patient, because if we need any admission detail and all, if we want any appointment and all, we can able to, through this particular thing, we can able to book an appointment also. So for that thing, we can design that particular database sophisticated for the patient also. Second thing is, if the particular patient is admitted in the hospital means, that record also we have to maintain. If they discharge from the hospital means, what is the status of the patient while discharging the thing, that also we going to able to store. So these are the data need to maintain in the hospital management. So what cases we are developing a database, now what are the records we are storing, that is also defined over here. And also what type of maintenance can be done for that particular database also, see it over here. So next we're going to see about what is the introduction of the database. Here I'm going to give, it is a multidisciplinary, multi-speciality hospital. So I have named as a ABC hospital. So the hospital can include number of departments, rooms, doctors, nurse, compounders, and other staff working in the hospital. These are the data. Physically, the what type of a thing can be inside the thing, that is given over here. And also here, the patient can come from the different kind of problems. That is, the patient having different kind of ailments coming to the hospital and get checkup done for the concerned doctor. Because a hospital can contain the so many variety of departments, so they can get checkup done by the concerned doctor if they are admitted in the hospital and auto just discharged after the treatment. So these are the cases is going on. So for each and individual doctor, this is a case will be going on over here. And also there is a two types of doctors in the hospital. One is a regular doctor, another one is a call-on doctor. If suppose the few doctors are not available in that particular time, we can also call the some other doctor. So we can able to pay per call or per day. Also we can able to, that is also available in the so many hospitals. For that also we have to design a database, because as a database architect, we're going to design the database based on the all the requirements of that particular hospital. So for that cases only we are considering the doctors also. In the doctor also we are having two types of doctor. One is a regular doctor, another one is a call-on doctor. Regular doctor is nothing but doctor who come to the hospital daily. The call-on doctor is those doctor who called by the hospital. If the concerned doctor is not available, if that particular surgeon is not available, we can go for a call-on doctor. And also we have to maintain these doctors' details also, because the payment, everything, we're going to store it in our database. For that only we need these type of a data. In second cases, so these are the solution, these are the persons available, their description. Now we're going to detailedly describe about what is the process for develop a better database for the hospital management system. First, we're going to see about what are the departments available. So these are the various departments majorly available in the all the hospital. So first scenario, that is we're going to see the process flow, how the patient enter into the hospital, how it can be treated, how they can go out. So we're going to see the flow chart of the thing. After that, I'm going to show the how we can design the database. So the first thing is that is a OPD. That is nothing but outpatient department. That is the first section when a patient enter into the hospital. First, the patient come and get the code. So each and every patient must be associated with the patient ID. So that ID can be taken as a primary key over here, because that is a unique key. Through that, we can able to easily access that particular person record easily. So only we are taking that particular ID is a unique ID, and as well as we're going to set it as a primary key. So here in the first stages, first we have to get a code for checkup or to meet the particular doctor for checkup that thing. Definitely first we have to meet the OPD, that is a outpatient department. So through that we can able to get the code. Second thing is we're going to see about the what type of a doctor we have to choose. That is the doctor checkup. So that can be chosen by the patient based on their alminance. Alminance is nothing but based on their problem or what cases they came for the hospital. That cases, the patient can choose the doctor. So after getting the appointment card, after paying the fees or everything, they can go to their doctor's room or doctor checkup room. That can be decided by the patients. So this is the second stages. In our third cases, after getting the doctor checkup, they can go for a treatment. So if they have any major issues, means they have to admit in the hospital. So the person can be, after a checkup with the doctor only, the doctor has to decide what type of a treatment has been given to that particular doctor. So the treatment given by the doctor by the two ways, either they're going to prescribe some medicine or they have to suggest to admit the patient in the concerned department. These are the cases taken place. Third thing is, otherwise, if the treatment is prescribe the medicine along with some of the scan document, or they ask you to take some blood test report and all, through that simply they can prescribe the medicine. Otherwise, they suggested to admit to the hospital. Fourth problem is, if the particular person is suggested by the admit in the hospital, means we can go for the admission procedure. So they have to go for the patient have to fulfill the certain formalities of the hospital, because room charges can be varied by room to room. This is a thing chosen only by the patients. So as a patient, they have to fulfill the admission formalities. If they fulfill the formalities, means they can able to choose their room, either private room or general ward room, any other thing based on their need. This is a process happened in the admission. And also if the patient is in the either they're going to pay the amount or they can go for any insurance and all. So these are the formalities based on the hospital that to be designed in the admission process. So in the fifth thing is before discharge. So if that particular patient is completely cured, they are ready to discharge, means, so the patient, again, they have to complete the formalities of the hospitals, like if they're having any testing charge, doctor fees, balance charge, any operation charges and all, they have to pay the payment bill. After paying the thing, the patient can completely discharge from the hospital. So this is the process happened in the hospital management system. So for this process only, we are going to design a database for this application. So this is a major problem in the hospital management system. So how we can develop the database for this thing is, in this continuity, we're going to see the detailed description about each department, what type of an attributes are there, what is the constraint we are fixing for that particular table, that we're going to see it over here. See here, this is various entity. The first entity is a department. So a department can contain the various department in the hospital. The attributes required for this particular department is the name, location, and also what type of facilities is available. That is a major attribute we're going to consider under the department entity. And also here, Department name can be take it as a unique for the each department, because department can have the the same department cannot be in the different places. So we're going to take the unique name as a unique thing as a department name for that particular entity. We're going to set the department name as a primary key. And also next thing is we're going to store the all doctors detail. So here, this what type of a data we're going to store under the doctors entity is store the information about all the doctors who is working in the hospital and the department they are associated. So that we're going to store under the doctors entity. So for storing this thing, what type of attribute is required for this thing is, one is identity number. So this identity number is the unique ID for each and every doctor. So your identity number, we're going to set it as a started with the DR or DC. So DR is nothing but the regular doctor. C, that is nothing but the colon doctor. So for defining that thing only, we are using a DR and DC as a prefix for each identity number. And also we're going to include the doctor name and which department they are associated. So for mentioning the thing, we're going to give it as a doctor's name. Here identity number can be taken as a primary key, and also department name should be exist in the department table also. So this can be matched, relationship to be established between the department as well as the doctor entity. Another thing is, initially I said that there is two types of a doctor. One is a regular doctor, another one is a on-call doctor. So based on this thing, they are storing their particular doctor's details in that two entities. So first we're going to see about a regular doctor. For that attribute required is a doctor number, that is identity number, name, qualification, address, phone number, salary, date of joining, etc. These details we're going to store under regular doctor. If it is on-call doctor, we're going to store it in the fees per call. How many times they can visited in our hospital, that also we have to require. And also we're going to enter the payment dues. How much we can settle that particular doctor, how much we have to give further. That details also we have to enter. For that details also we're going to create a database. So in both the cases, the primary key is the doctor number. Definitely that can be associated with the previous table, that is all table. So there is a relationship established between the all doctors, regular doctor and on-call doctor. So the next thing is the patient entry. So patient entry is, there is a different types, because just they are coming for a checkup or they are going for admit the hospital. That we're going to see. First, while entering the patient, we're going to create a database for that particular patient. So in this cases, patient number is the patient primary key we're going to set. So through that is a unique key. So we can able to easily take on that particular detail of that particular patient. So here we're going to store name, age, sex, address, city, phone number, entry date, name of the doctor, refer, what is the diagnosis, which department they have made. These details we're going to get from the patient. And also here patient number should be begin with the PT. That is the patient prefix. So through that only we can able to identify the thing. And also here we are having a sex for our database entry. We're going to use M for male and F for the female cases, and doctor name and the department refer must be exist. So this to be associated with the doctor's entry also. And also if that particular patient can go for any checkup means. So in this particular entity, we're going to store the details about the patient who get treatment from the doctor, refer to the details like patient number from the patient entry table, and doctor number, date of checkup, diagnosis and treatment are to be stored. If suppose we can modify any data over here, it could be reflected in some relational database also, it must be reflected. So finally, one more thing is extra added over here is a status. So it is used to indicate whether that particular patient is just come for a checkup or they going to admit the hospital. For that only we are giving the one called as a status. It is used to indicate whether patient is admitted, referred for the operation, or is a regular patient to the hospital. That we're going to give it over here. And also here patient number should be matched with the patient entry, because that can be deals with all the places. So we're going to consider that is a primary key for that. And also if patient is admitted means a further details to be stored only in the patient admitted table. And also if refer for any operation means we're going to develop one more entity that is called as an operation entity. That particular data further they have to store it in that particular database only. And also if it is that is a regular patient means we have to store that particular data in the regular patient table, because all the patient detail we can accumulate in a single table. It is very difficult. So that only we are dividing into 3 different types. One is admitted detail, or they can refer for any operation, or they can come for a regular checkup. That will be divided over here. So the next thing is, if the patient is admitted, his or her related details can be stored in this particular table. So here we're going to see about the what are the attributes are there is patient number, advance payment, mode of payment, room number, department, data from admission, initial condition in a what is the initial condition, diagnosis, what type of a treatment, and also number of doctors under whom treatment is done. That details also have to be entered over here. And also who is the attendant for that particular patient, because we can't able to communicate all the information to the patient. So we need the attendant details also. That also we're going to give it under the patient admit call. Here also patient number can be taken as a primary key for that thing. And also discharge. That is another entity. Here we're going to give in this particular database patient number, treatment given, treatment advice, payment made, whether it is yes or no, mode of payment, and also date of discharges. And also they're going to give the review date also. That also you are going to mention under the patient discharge. If it is a patient is regular, so that data can be stored along with the date of visit, diagnosis, treatment, what type of medicines are recommended, what is the status of a treatment, that can be here. So here major constraint is patient number should exist in the patient entry table. There can be multiple entries of one patient, as patient might be visited hospital repeatedly for checkup, and there will be entry for the patient each visit. So that we have to maintain. So only we are taking this is a major constraint for the patient regular. If the particular patient go for an operation, if it is operated in the hospital, his detail will be stored in this particular detail. So here the patient number that is in the patient entry, date of admission and date of operation, number of doctors whom contacted for the operation, number of operation theater in which the operation who is carried out, type of operation, what is the condition of patient before and what is the after operation condition, what is the treatment advice, everything we going to give it under the patient operation table. So here also what is the constraint means patient number should be exist in the patient entry table. Department, doctor number should be existed should be a valid one. Because if you are typed any invalid data, that is nothing to be used. We can't able to retrieve any data. So all the cases, we have to give the valid data. Through that only we can able to easily access the data. The next thing is, last thing is a room detail. So your payment is depends only on the rooms. So it can contain the rooms of the entire hospital room details over here. So here it will have a room number, room type, maybe a general room or private room. And also we have to give the status. That is whether it is occupied or not. Based on this thing only we can allocate the room to the patient. If it is occupied means what is the patient number, patient number, name, charges per day, when they're going to discharge from the hospital, that details also we have to give if suppose that particular room is booked or occupied. So here room should be a unique, and also room type can be a general for G, and also we're going to give the P for the private. Status can be yes or no. Through that only, if we are seeing this constraint only, we can able to allocate the room to the other patient very easily. So these are the various description about the various entities going to be used under the hospital management system. So how we can design based on this thing, how we can able to design the database means we're going to design it by two ways. One is by using a graphical manner, that is we're going to see it in the entity relationship diagram. Second way is in terms of table, that we can to see it in the relational schema. So this is a major solution for this thing. How we can do this thing means, so first we're going to see how we can construct the entity relationship diagram for the hospital management system. So this is the entity relationship diagram which I have to design for the hospital management system. Those I have mentioned in the rectangle, that and all the entity, if it is in the diamond shape, that is a relationship exists between the two entities. And also those I mentioned in the oval symbol, that is the attributes associated for that particular entity. If the attribute is underlined means that is a primary key can be used for that particular entity. That is a unique key. So we are having a doctors. Doctors can have the two type, regular doctor and on-call doctor. And also the doctor can do operation for patients, the operation theater, medicine type of operation, patient details. Here patient number is a unique, here doctor number is a unique. And also if they can go for a direct checkup means either they can go for an operation or they can go for a checkup. So checkup means they can just diagnose and status and the treatment can be given. If it is a patient, they can be an admitted patient or a regular patient. If it is admitted means definitely we have to discharge that particular patient. And also all the doctors has works under the various department in the hospital. So it will have the department name, facilities and location. So through that, the previous slides and all, what are the requirements is available and also what are the attributes are there. So based on that only we have constructed the ER diagram for the hospital management system. So this is the one type of a solution. Before designing the database, as a database architect must have to develop the structure of the system. So now we can convert this particular ER diagram into a relational schema. So that will be see it over here. So this is the relational schema. This is a relational schema for the hospital management system. So we have the 11 entities and also these are the attributes required for this thing for the hospital management system. Simply I'm selling for only 2 to 3 entities. For department, the department name is the primary key, location and facilities. All doctors, their number is majorly important. So on which the department is associated. If it is a doctor regular, doctor on call also, doctor number is a primary key. If it is related to a patient, definitely patient number is the unique key. And also if you are going for any room details, room number is a very important. So only we are marking is a room number is the unique key. So according to this particular hospital management system, we're going to consider the 4 primary key. One is department name, department doctor number, patient number, room number. So these are the major primary key. Through that we can able to easily access all the data in the particular database. So this is the basic structure of the database for the hospital management. How we can develop this thing into a software. So that will be seen over here. So many softwares are available. So I have listed a few software how we can develop the database for this particular thing is either we can go for the MongoDB. MongoDB means it is a NoSQL. We can able to store all type of a data, not only relational. We can able to store multiple data. That is the video, audio, image format. All type of a data is can be used in the MongoDB. Nowadays, mostly we are in the sector and all, backend sector and all, they are using the MongoDB. The next one is MySQL DB2 that is developed by the IBM. And also we are having SQL Server, Oracle. These are the various popular database available in the market. So through that, we can able to develop a better database for the database management system. So I can go for a conclusion. because this is a case study. So initially I have described the what is the aim of this particular thing. So the major aim is we're going to design and develop a database for the hospital management system. Finally, we have to concluded with the thing. A database can be created by using two ways. First, we have to construct the ER diagram. Next, we're going to convert the ER diagram into a relational schema. So this can be developed by the various backend tools. So these are the major things in the hospital management. I think it is very useful for you. Please watch my upcoming videos and all. I'm going to give detailedly about how we can implement this thing by using any one of the backend tool. Thank you.